I'm Adam Anschel for Pro Football Weekly, along with associate editor Dan Parr. We are taking a long look at the Falcons draft day trade with the Cleveland Browns. It's presented by Verizon Fios. And Dan, Falcons trade away 5 picks, including 2 firsts, a second, 2 fourths, all to move up and get Julio Jones. What did you think when you first heard about it? What do you make of the trade?
Well, we had thought it was on the way. We had heard coming into the draft that Thomas Dimitroff, the GM of the Falcons, was seriously considering a bold move up, and he pulled it off. It was a little bit of a surprise when it happened. We thought maybe at the last minute the Falcons would reconsider, but listen, they've talked all offseason about the needs they had. At wide receiver, they needed to get more explosive. They just watched themselves get really just blown out by the Packers in the playoffs, gave up 48 points. They need to be able to compete with those kind of elite offenses, and they didn't have it last year. They really lacked a playmaker on the outside to kind of complement Roddy White. They needed that, and now they have one in Julio Jones.
Well, they paid a big price for it, and it sure seemed like Thomas Dimitroff was basically saying we're one player away from making that leap to Super Bowl contender. But that's not necessarily what he actually said. You got a chance to talk to him. Here's what he had to say.
Myself, Mike Smith, and the organization does not believe that he's, the one piece, to get to anywhere in particular. This is about, a player that we truly believe adds a very good element of explosive playmaking ability. And I truly don't believe any one player can make or break a team. I mean, we all have to come together. Everything has to be in the proper alignment for us to be an upper tier championship caliber team.
So Dimitroff says they weren't just one player away, and this wasn't a move to get that last piece, but when you trade up that much for one guy, it sure seems like it.
That was a question I had for him, Adam. Why make this move if you're not one player away? But listen, the Falcons are set up pretty well now with that offense to be one of the league's best. Defensively, we thought a defensive end would have really helped them out quite a bit. They need another guy to bring some pressure off the edge. Free agency is still to come. We'll see what they do. But listen, at the end of the day, Thomas Dimitroff has really put his name and attached it to this deal. If the Falcons come out and win next year, if they get to the Super Bowl, we're not going to be debating this trade at that point. But if they don't, this will come back to probably haunt them.
You mentioned the defense. I mean, I think it was interesting. Their offense wasn't bad last year. It was the defense that really let them down. They gave up over 40 points to the Packers in the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers threw for over 350 yards. They didn't really solve that side. How does Julio Jones fix that?
Well, you're right, Adam. Julio Jones isn't going to bring any more pressure off the edge. He's not going to be able to defend the team's best receiver on the other side of the ball. But listen, they have now an offense that's going to be on the field, perhaps longer, scoring more points each game. Sometimes a good offense is the best defense. This offense was in the middle of the road last year if you look at some of the rankings. It should be improved. That will help the defense in some way. But yes, it's fair to criticize Dimitroff for not going out and maybe get a defensive player early on in the draft.
One thing you can't criticize Dimitroff for is being boring. I mean, you got to like a guy that has the guts to step up, make the move. It sounds like he's that kind of guy.
He is. He's going to be aggressive. He's not conservative. He does come from the Bill Belichick line of thinking, and I know that it's been written that Bill probably wouldn't have made this move, and he told Thomas that when they talked before the draft. But Thomas is his own man now. He's making aggressive moves. He's not just going to play it by the book that some other people do. He's a different kind of general manager, and he's really put it on the line with this trade. If it pays off for him, he'll be winning in contention for Executive of the Year again next year.
I think it's interesting that you mentioned Belichick. We heard rumblings during the draft that he was actually trying to get up to number 2 to get A.J. Green. He doesn't make the move. Dimitroff gets Julio Jones at 6. See how it pans out. That is a look at the Falcons and Browns trade from the draft. For the best draft analysis, be sure to follow us on Twitter or go to ProFootballWeekly.com.